Does Microsoft need a superhero game in terms of an exclusive? Because, obviously it's worked out for Sony and Nintendo. Considering Sony has two Spider-Man games, now they're coming out with Marvel Spider-Man 2 in 2023 and Marvel's Wolverine at some point, whenever that is. So, because of that, a lot of Xbox gamers, to be quite frankly, myself included, I kind of expressed disappointment. Like, it's like, why isn't Microsoft jumping on that? Because after it's been so successful for Sony and Nintendo to a degree as well, considering that they got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 a couple of years ago, so which that did decently. I mean, I played it on my Switch, so it was pretty good. I know some people don't like it. That's completely fair. So I'm not knocking you for that if you don't, but hey, it is what it is. So does it really does Microsoft need their own exclusive superhero game? To me, like, considering that Microsoft has so many new IPs now, like, I mean, there's obviously a lot of content coming down the pipeline for Microsoft, but an exclusive superhero game, I think, is one of those that would really help them out in terms of getting like mainstream appeal. Because like when you look at the reactions to the announcements from the Sony showcase last week, it got them a lot of attention. So I know I've seen some people say, "Oh, it's CGI," blah 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 blah. But Marvel Spider-Man 2 wasn't CGI. That was running in real time on the PS5. Insomniac confirmed that. So it actually wasn't CGI as people were saying. So not that I'm defending it because I don't have a PS5 and don't plan on getting one, but because I just don't like PlayStation that much. It's just not for me. So, but anyway, back to the topic at hand. Do I feel that they kind of need one? Like, I kind of feel that it kind of would, it's another area that, they're lacking in terms of, first party superhero game. So, considering it's worked out so well for their two big competitors. I know people say, oh, Nintendo compares. Yes, they fucking are. They're a Sonic console just like Microsoft and Sony are. So, yes, they are. So I'd say yes. So, I'd say yes, they should get one. Do I think they'll need one? I think it would be very beneficial to Game Pass, because think about it. If you have like a superhero, like someone as an iconic character like Spider-Man or Batman as an exclusive to Game Pass, like, sell Game Pass subs, that's going to sell a lot, because that's going to get a lot of attention. So, because I know there was the whole rumors about the whole Batman thing, the whole WB Games thing last year, and apparently that has came up in the news again apparently. So that would be interesting to see if the rumors are true, is that they ended up getting bought again. But because it seems every time that when there's an acquisition rumor that comes up, I think Microsoft somehow getting WB Games, and if they can get the licenses with the acquisition, I think it definitely would solve that problem, because they immediately would have access to so many iconic characters, to work with, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Justice League. You know, there's so many characters in the DC universe they could work with. So if they don't go the Marvel route, because I mean, Microsoft has worked with DC on their IPs before, considering that Pirates of the Caribbean is now in Sea of Thieves as a DLC, as we saw at E3. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they wouldn't work with Marvel, but I think they should at least for one, to kind of check it off the list or whatnot, because like with the recent demand, like there's clearly a demand for licensed superhero games and games media. I mean, like I said, look at the reactions to the Sony showcase, that people got hyped for Marvel Spider-Man 2 with Venom and Kraven, and Wolverine. So, because I remember playing X-Men Wolverine, Origins Wolverine on the 360, and that game was pretty darn well. Like, I think it was pretty damn good. It was criminally underrated. I think people slept on that. So I'm sure Insomniac will kill it like they did with Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm sure they'll do it again. They'll nail it once again. So 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 certainly Xbox games they're probably like, they're obviously they there's an outcry right now saying that they should, I guess, quote unquote, respond to this, but do they really need to? Because like, in as the numbers show, like, super like licensed games haven't really done a lot of damage in the terms of like gaming industry in general outside of a select few. Because, obviously, but it would obviously help sell the idea of Game Pass to people, who don't really play games. So, especially kids, because, superheroes, they grow up on that. They grow up on that stuff. So if I were Microsoft, I would really consider looking into either buying WB games if they end up going for sale again, or work out a deal with Marvel and Disney. Say, do an exclusive, Incredible Hulk game, because, Xbox is the color green, Hulk is, green, for instance, or do another character like, Deadpool, for example. How about a Deadpool game by ID Software or something like that, something crazy like that, or a Punisher game by the Coalition. I mean, there is so much potential that they could really do with the studios that Microsoft has. Should the studio actually want to? Because that's the big difference. Like, because I don't think Microsoft should force their studio to do one if they don't want to. But I wouldn't be surprised if some studios Microsoft probably would want to. So it all depends on if Microsoft is willing to deal with Disney. But considering they've worked with Disney on other IPs before, I'm sure they'd be more willing to. It's just up to really, like, what character would Microsoft want and what studio, would be willing to do it. If there's a will, there's a way. And considering how much money Microsoft has, I'm sure they could get it done if they really tried to. So in conclusion, should they do it? Yes. Do they need to? I guess do it for the fans that want it. Yes. But do they really? But all that Microsoft really needs is just come out with great games. That's it. So, but in conclusion, yes, they absolutely should do it for those who want it. Absolutely should. So, even whether it's a Marvel IP or they buy WB Games to do exclusive DC games, either way works for me. So, anyway, conclusion, yeah, they should. So, anyway, just kind of wrap my thought around it, because this has been a heated topic of the last week. So, considering the showcases last week, and this has been talk of the town ever since. So, okay, this is Halo Gaming. Sign out. What do you think? If you were to pick, let me ask you guys a question. If there were a exclusive superhero game you want Microsoft to go out and do, what character would you pick? For me, I would probably pick someone like Hulk, because of the color green, or there's another character that isn't Marvel or Disney, which is, Spawn, from Image Comics, work with, Todd McFarlane, get that done. So, but those are just two random picks, but there's a lot more that I could think of off the top of my head. So, but don't want to make this video. I think that this video has gone on long enough. So again, let me know in the comments section who, if you were to pick a character from Microsoft to go with, who would you pick and why? And click that like button, subscribe, and don't miss out on any new content. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.